The relapse rate from Accutane is real. Shockingly, studies show it can be up to 65%, and it's way higher for women who don't keep taking some kind of anti-androgen medication, which seems kind of weird, right? If Accutane worked, why would you still need to keep taking medications to stay clear? Let's be honest, these aren't facts your derm is likely leading with, and you're so right to be asking, is Accutane worth it? Today we're diving into what the science says so you can once and for all make up your mind. Should you go on Accutane? By the end of this video, you'll have a clear path forward. Hi. My name is Cheryl Woodman. I'm a scientist, acne expert, and award-winning skincare formulator, here to help you get back to your clear, calm, confident skin. I've had acne myself, so I understand that right now you might be in that desperately searching for an acne cure phase. There's so much conflicting advice, and you just don't know where to turn to or what to try next. People might keep telling you that Accutane is the holy grail, that it's the only acne treatment that really works and that really works long term. But you've heard about those crazy side effects, like how it's associated with low mood and depression. That might have scared you. You might be understanding this is a serious medication with serious potential side effects. That's how you've ended up here. So let me get this out of the way first. I'm going to tell you my personal experience with Accutane. So when I was struggling with acne, I actually found my doctors were really resistant to prescribe me anything. So thankfully I was never offered Accutane, and I'm thankful because I was so desperate, I probably wouldn't have thought twice about the side effects. But you've got one up on me because you're here really questioning this medication. So let me tell you this first before we dive into the real hard science on, is Accutane worth it? So I've worked with hundreds of women who, when they first came to me, were struggling with acne, never wanting anyone to see them makeupless, and living in fear of the mirror. Then just months after they came to me, they got the clear, calm, glowy skin of their dreams. Some of these women had been on Accutane before. Some of them had been on multiple rounds of Accutane, yet the acne still came back. So they got some temporary relief, only for the breakouts to return viciously months or years later. So that was the case for my amazing acne warrior, Megan. She struggled for years, and Accutane was one of the treatments she tried, yet she was still breaking out with these inflammatory cystic breakouts that left deep red marks for so many months after. She was cancelling plans, avoiding mirrors, and spiraling into desperate Google searches at 2 a.m. But where Accutane didn't work, what we tried together did. Here's her incredible progress. Clear with only an occasional spot that clears up fast and doesn't bother her. These amazing results weren't because of taking Accutane. Where Accutane, the holy grail acne medication, failed, something else got her the clear, calm, glowy skin she thought was impossible for her. I'll tell you exactly what got her clear for good soon. And just so you know, Megan isn't an isolated case. I've worked with many women who tried Accutane and had it ultimately fail them. Just like this major science study reports, summarizing that amongst Accutane studies, relapse rate, meaning how often acne comes back, varies wildly from a minimum of 9.4% to a wildly high 65.4%. Some of these studies also look at how many people might actually be taking multiple courses of Accutane to try to get the clear skin of their dreams. Well, that retrial rate is as high as 23.1%. If that's something no one's told you before, make sure to hit subscribe so you're never left in the dark again. Now you might be thinking, whoa, like how can is Accutane worth it stats vary so wildly? Well, there are three key reasons why. Firstly, some studies might only follow people for a year or less after they finish Accutane. That means the medication could keep them clear for a year, but in the second year, they might still have relapse, and that doesn't get recorded. Secondly, some of these studies may have chosen to exclude certain people. For example, if they were taking multiple therapies previously, like antibiotics or spironolactone, that in itself could skew the success rate because they're only looking at people who don't have a long history of taking acne medications. And finally, incomplete follow-up. Many times people drop out of these studies, and often that can be due to side effects or that the person just wasn't getting the results that they wanted. And that means the success rate can be skewed again. So let's dive into one of these studies so I can show you, is Accutane worth it or not? So this study called Acne Relapse Rate and Predictors of Relapse Following Treatment with Oral Isotretinoin followed 142 patients over 2 years after they took Accutane. So isotretinoin is Accutane. It's just the chemical word for Accutane, whereas Accutane is a brand name. Now, really importantly, these patients didn't just take Accutane and that was it. Heck no. Actually, this was quite a follow-up regimen. So if you were a woman in the study, you were also prescribed a topical retinoid, so something like tretinoin or adapalene. You were also prescribed either the birth control pill, and not any random birth control pill, ones that are also designed to stop acne like Dianet because they contain potent anti-androgens, or you were prescribed spironolactone, which can work as an androgen blocker. So I've got a separate video on this that I'll link up for you below. So this I actually find kind of shocking as a scientist because it's almost admitting that Accutane alone for women doesn't work or isn't enough to keep the majority of people with clear skin. So it's admitting that for women who are experiencing hormonal acne, Accutane likely isn't worth the risks. This study ultimately concluded two really important things you should be aware of. Firstly, the relapse rate was 19% in patients who continued with retinoids, but 100% in those who discontinued it. So, can I be honest? This just isn't an option for so many women because tretinoin especially is highly irritating. So it's a no-go for sensitive skin types. And your skin is likely to be more sensitive after taking Accutane. Secondly, that 19% relapse rate is actually misleading. This study found that for women who didn't take spironolactone or the birth control pill, their relapse rate was 3.5 times higher than women who did take it. Now, I've done those calculations for you, and this actually equates to roughly a 32% relapse rate within 2 years if you don't take spironolactone or the pill. Let me say that again, a 32% relapse rate within 2 years if you stop using an anti-androgen therapy. So give this video a like so we can spread the word to more women. You could think of this relapse rate like using those gel cushion insoles in your shoes, the ones that you can use to make your heels feel more comfortable. Well, at first they feel like you're walking on air. Then over time, they get more and more compressed and the effect wears out. Then you need to replace them again and again. And if you're asking, why would Accutane not work long term? Why would acne come back? Well, the answer to that question is the silver lining of your acne. Accutane does not heal the root causes of your acne. Accutane does not heal the root causes of your acne. That's how I think of acne. It's just a smoke signal from your body guiding you to being your healthiest, happiest self. Because when you heal those root causes of acne, things like hormonal imbalances or skin barrier weakness or metabolic upset, just like Megan did with my Acne Warrior method, that's when your acne heals for good. And that's when you feel the best you've ever felt. Things like heavy periods, period cramps, brain fog, or hair loss, those kind of symptoms can stop too. That is the magic of root cause healing. And that's why Accutane doesn't often work long term. It's not healing those root causes of your acne. It's just temporarily suppressing them with a plaster. The more you rub those root causes after stopping Accutane, the quicker your acne might return. So is Accutane worth it? In my opinion, no. Accutane is not worth the risk of side effects when my Acne Warrior method can help get you naturally clear in just months. And when the relapse rate from Accutane could be up to 65%. Would you employ a builder to fix a leaky roof if he said there was a 65% chance it would soon leak again, or even a 32% chance? So I live in an old house and we've had all kinds of damp and leak issues. So I know my answer, but you'll have to answer that for yourself. Only you know what's right for you. I just want you to be armed with the facts before making that decision, because you deserve to get the skin of your dreams and feel amazing too. Now that you know Accutane isn't very effective on its own, you might be wondering what this journey really looks like when you have to keep taking spironolactone or the pill. And if that's the case, you must watch my next video on spironolactone for acne and my video on the birth control pill for acne. I'm linking both of them up below, so I'll see you in the next video.